Reading and approval of the minutes. Reading and approval of the minutes previous meeting.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Additions, comments, corrections? Lacking any, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'd like to abstain, please.
Excuse me?
Abstain, I wasn't here, so.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, sure.
Thank you.
You weren't here?
No, the last one, my mom, I was in
Oh,
Florida.
the
Yes.
previous meeting.
Yes,
Yeah,
that one.
okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, she's at this one.
Bills, communications.
So typical stuff on a monthly basis. There are two MRB invoices, just to be clear. $768 of the total amount is for the subdivision project that MRB's engineering team is doing. And then the related to the that triangle at the back of the mall property. And then the rest is admin fees from the December bill. And then there's a couple of annual things that are re-upping right now, like the Zoom subscription, and there'll be a thing on the next month or so. But everything else is pretty standard.
Your motion to approve the bill paying bills.
Move.
Second.
Comments? Questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Budget, reported treasurer.
Oh, that's me too. So the financials that I sent or that were in the packet include 2025 and comparison to 2024. I sent a email around yesterday in response to Andy's question that the 2025 numbers are prior to the year-end entry. So we just moved the money, we moved things around for the audit. But during the year, we put them in specific places. So like the Aurelius Industrial Park expenses, we put those separate so that the board can track what you are spending on the park, which will not really be much of an issue moving forward. But then for the audit, we need to move that money to more standard expense lines. So that's the reason that those 2 years look different, is that the 2024 was post year-end entries and 2025 is before the year-end entries. I have done the year-end entries for 2025 at this point, so that Bonadio can start working on the audit. They are planning to start the audit next week. So we'll be sending the final documents on Monday, and then Michael and I will be available to help them with anything that they need. But there's not much to point out with the monthly expenses, at least for December, but this is a pretty good indication of what year end will look like.
Is there a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
Move.
Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, at this point, we have some guests. Mike, if you want to introduce them, shaking whatever.
Sure. First, I'd like to say welcome board members to the Aurora and Village of Aurora itself. I'm, as you know, a resident of Aurora, so I'm very pleased and honored that you would be here today. Our guests include Village Mayor Jim Orman. Many of you know him as our former treasurer for the county. We also have Tim Fitzgerald, owner and operator of the Wells College Golf Course, as well as his brother, Tim. So Kevin and Tim, welcome. And lastly, Sue Enger, the general manager of Vans Aurora and our host for today. Great debt of thanks for hosting us here today, Sue. Reminder to the board here of the number of projects the county IDA has supported for the Vans over the year. And what that has enabled the INS to do is one of our largest economic drivers for Cayuga County between sales tax revenue as well as occupancy tax. And it really highlights tourism within Cayuga County as well as hospitality. And to me, it's really put not just Aurora, but Cayuga County as a destination for upstate central New York. So once more, thank you. And I wanted these three members to join us today as we're here in Aurora to provide an update on developments within the Inns and Village of Aurora. And lastly, as we've all learned over the last week, is the recent announcement of Wells College being sold. So with all that said, and in respect of time, I'd like to turn it over to Sue.
Thanks. Sorry, I do have to move on to another meeting after this, but first of all, welcome. And in all seriousness, what Michael just talked about, 2 pilot agreements that we were CCIDA approved for us, both for the Roland House and Christie House across the way here. And then along with the tax abatement programs for the spa and the farmhouse have been critical to the development here. And make no mistake about it, especially the farmhouse. I was saying we started that construction a couple of years ago. Construction prices they're out of control right now. Were it not for that, I think Pleasant very well may have just stopped that project and not done it. So what you all have done has really spurred economic development. When I started here 24 years ago, we opened up 5 operations in that May of 2003. But we've now grown into, we are 350 employees at the peak of the season. And so 6 months a year, not so much right now, this is our quieter time of the year. But what you all have done through those different programs really encourage, and this is all out of state money. Think about who she is, right? She lives in Madison, Wisconsin. Coming in here and the restoration of now, we're on building 29 for me, some of which are revenue producing buildings and some of which are not. So it's been a very interesting 24 years now. For me, we're really proud of what we've accomplished. But what you all do really has set the stage and helped encourage investment along the way of her. We are 2 weeks from opening up the farmhouse, which is at the one, if you go up Sherwood, that's right next to the spa up there. That's the last of the historical properties that Pleasant owns. And her mission, as she stated to me in 2003, was to finish all of the historical buildings that she owns in Aurora. And that will complete that. So we're excited about that. It's going to be 10 guest rooms, 4 in the actual property there, and then there's 6 additional what we call cottages out there. They're really spectacular. So you will be given the boards you serve on, along with the folks here, are on a list. We're going to be having some open houses that we would love for you to come back and tour through and see what we've done. But we're very much excited about that. Each one of these steps with the inn, so that will be our 6th of the inns. We need a certain number of rooms to make the business model viable here. And so we've been slowly getting there. As I said, Pleasant's interest is more philanthropic. It's about the restoration of these buildings, this being a great example here. But we've done 28 buildings at this time and are very excited about the new one opening up. So that's called the farmhouse. That will open up in a couple weeks. We also have a project that we're about to embark on over here at the Village Market, where the market concept made sense for us 24 years ago. Village had a lot more residents in it. It was a different place. But now, given the numbers of people that live here, and especially this time of year, the number of people that live here, a market doesn't make quite so much sense. So we are taking that space over there and we're going to close it down for about 6 weeks. Probably won't be the most popular person because it'll be a little more challenging to get coffee for some of us for about 6 or 8 weeks. But reopening it, where we'll have some high-end coffees in there, lattes and all. We don't actually have a place where you can get that in Aurora at this point. Some really nice upscale breakfast sandwiches. We're going to be doing a deal with Auburn Bagels. Bring down their bagels. We're going to be buying from them. We're going down here, finishing off things. And then Roman-style pizzas and all and upscale sandwiches at lunchtime. All to go. So from the community standpoint, folks can come in and get food still. But I think our guests, many of whom are looking to just get up and go, no longer do they want to come and have a 2-hour breakfast. That's one of the changes I've seen in 25 years.
Yeah.
So we're changing with the times to meet the business. We also have a lot more competition. There's this restaurant up the golf course that opened up there. It gives us a little bit of competition. Down at Tree 11, Aurora Brewing, Dugan's, think of all the things that have come in since we started this. So we're just iterating the model a little bit to continue towards that becoming profitable. So very proud of what we've accomplished here. We just, second year in a row, we've been awarded a Michelin key for the hotel. Those are unannounced inspections. We have no idea when that person's coming. They came, they just started that last year for hotels, not the restaurants, but the hotels. One at last year, one at this year, the only one in upstate New York today. We're very proud of that. We're on travel and leisure boats, 150 spas in the world to see before you die. For those of you that haven't been to our spa, it is spectacular. That was a very large project for us that we finished 4 years ago. That's been a game changer for this business model here. When asked what draws people here this time of year when it's cold and it looks like this, it's the spa. So the spa business onto itself is a profitable business for us, but more importantly, it draws and fills our rooms here. And our goal is to keep people employed best we can year round. And that is sort of the other problem that we have from a business, or challenge that we have from a business standpoint here. Finding employees is next to impossible. It's a very challenge. Back in the beginning when I was here, we have a job fair and we'd have hundreds of people coming in. We had a job fair now, we might get 5 people.
Wow.
So we employ international workers through the H-2B and J-1 program. It's the only way this place would still be operating. There are literally not enough people to come fill the positions.
That's
So we bring in about
unbelievable.
60 people at any given time. Of the 250 this time of year, it goes up to 350 in the summer. Those are international workers coming here and working for us. Otherwise, we would not be able to run this resort. Wouldn't happen. So that's been a challenge for us. And then that means I have to house people. If you'd asked me, would we ever be doing housing for folks? I was 10 years ago, I would say you're out of your mind. We have 5 properties we own here in the village that are simply for our employees, the international employees to live. So it's been an interesting evolution of the business here. But we're really proud of where we're at. Just crossed over the $20 million mark. And things are going well for us. So we're excited about this next year coming in. Weddings for 2026 have been booked for over a year. We're selling from 7 and 8 right now. I'm excited about the farmhouse opening up. What Kevin and Tim have done down at the golf course down there, that's been really important to us. It's a resort. As you might imagine, people coming here watching play golf. And Kevin's come in and really done, I think, a spectacular job with the golf course down there, such that it aligns better, I guess is probably a more polite way to say it with our guests here. Wells just simply didn't have the money to do a lot, but these guys have done a lot. So that's great for us here too. Any questions I can answer for anybody about who we are, what we do? And again, it's a very sincere thanks to the work that you all do, because I'm not so sure you get a developer like Pleasant. Those kinds of things matter for them to go, yeah, I want to do one more project. That community wants me and is willing to help a little bit. And that's important. And she's put in, you know, if you look here for us, over $300 million have been invested in the Inns of Aurora. And that's separate. I'm not talking about what she put in at Wells down there. So again, if you leverage the money well, I would say Cook County.
Yeah.
Any questions, anything like that I can answer? Great. That's
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Oh, we're divided, and anytime, sis, if you, especially this time of year, if you need space, in the summertime, a little bit
Yeah.
more challenging for me. But this time of year, we've got this, and then we have several other board groups around too.
Thank you, Sue. I'd like to turn it over to Kevin.
Kevin Fitzgerald, I own and operate Wells Golf Club, formerly Wells College Golf Course. I'd like to thank Sue, Michael for the invite. Aurora's a special, very special place. Family is from here, grew up here, and it's great to have your agency, your meeting here today to see what Pleasant, Sue, the Inns have done. We wouldn't be here if not, right, for our family ties, and the investment that Pleasant following and the Inns that we're making. They are the economic driver in this village. Outside of their enterprise and ours and several other small ones, there's not really an economic entity here. And we need, and I'm trying to change that. Golf course has been a fun project. We've acquired some ancillary lands with that. One of the reasons why we're here today is to meet you all, have a general understanding of how you operate, as we are in the infancy of a development project at the south end of the village. We're hopeful in the near term to be coming with a project to you to analyze and potentially partner with us on. But we thank you, we thank Sue, We look forward to Aurora becoming more of an economic player here in Cayuga County. It's a beautiful place, and in Finger Lakes, and tourism is burgeoning. So, thank you for the time.
Thank you, Kevin. And lastly, Mayor Orman.
Thank you all. It's just nice to see you all again, actually, in some like professional setting here. It's pretty cool. But for those of you that don't know, I grew up here, so I used to own that building right over there. Tavern called the Fargo. But I never got far away from here, even when I worked in Rochester and government up there, and here every weekend, did a lot of events and stuff like that. And I never dreamed I'd become county treasurer only to become village mayor here. And this has probably been the biggest challenge that I've had in my career, and that's really not exaggerating. Things have happened here in the last 4 years that the normal stuff we got through a year of zoning. We got through, it's still 50 times. We got through a year of short-term rental law discussion, finally enacted. It's been enacted now. But then on April 29th, 9 o'clock in the morning, half our village left.
Yeah.
By noon, we were down to 200 plus people there. With the same services still needed, same tax dollars still needed. A municipal water plant, which was one of the only ones in New York State, which was owned by Wells, transferred suddenly to us within 3 months. So we've incurred a lot of expenses along the way. What it did was, I will say, allowed me to start talking with all these people in New York State that I'd never talked to before. I mean, I was aware of all stuff, but and we formed alliances since with the EFC, DEC, Department of State, Department of Public Health, the governor's office, everybody. They all know who we are, and they all say we strongly support everything you're trying to do, but we can't provide operation and maintenance costs.
Yeah.
And everybody here knows that's what drives the community.
Yeah.
Those are the tax dollars you have to raise. And there comes a time, we just did it with water rates. We're not happy at the village level with the water rates. I'm sure these two aren't, and I know they shouldn't be. There's no way we should be paying that much for water. But if you want water, it's the only way we can do it. Now, along those lines, we just received a $5 million water infrastructure grant. As you all know in this room, grants are just the beginning. Then you have to go through, right? Then you have to go through the process of, okay, how do we fund the other half? With the people that are supporting a village already called upon to be overburdened and overtaxed. And this really is a concern. It's really exciting to hear 5 million. It's not so exciting to hear, but you owe 6 million to get the 5 million. That's not too exciting.
Well, and it spends quick.
It spends very quick, and that's today's estimates. That's not 3 or 4 years when all of this comes to fruition, what it really costs. So we're in the midst of that. The one thing we did get was the ERI. We had put in for it once before and didn't get it. We formed a collaborative effort with Union Springs and Cayuga to get a $10.2 million ERI, which was fantastic. It has never been done before. And it was so difficult to do and so difficult for New York State to administer. They've decided they will never do it again with more than one building.
Yeah.
It's way too much coordination. So,
But that's a matching one also.
yeah, it's a matching one.
So you still,
And along the way, one of our key projects was to secure a building in partnership with Wells College. And where when we would have new village offices, we currently operate out of room closets. Technically. We were in an effort, we would have gotten this building, lakefront. Village offices, combine all of the village offices, all the records, and still had room for 1 or 2 person private corporation or private entities like, say, Tim and his law firm or an accountant,
Right.
hair salon, anything that's one or two people. That all went away. So that was just a side note that nobody really saw that within the board stages. But we did get it, and we will have a brand new park, which doesn't sound like much, but in actuality, it's the gateway to central New York, because this is a seaway trail that still needs to be, I think, more publicized. And you will come off that beautiful view on that hill, see this park, and we're really hoping that this group can work with Kevin's group to form some of the plans that he wants to do. I don't know what they are in detail, but I do know is whenever he touches something, it's like when Pleasant is, it turns into a room like this, whatever it was before. I'm telling you, that's a fact. I've seen it. So I think we're on the move right now. We desperately need some housing. We desperately need some businesses that complement the inn. I had the good fortune to go to Iceland years ago, and I had the good fortune to meet with the mayor, Reykjavik, and my daughter arranged for it. And she said, "What are you going to talk about?" I said, "Oh." And it was, how do you, like here, take a village like this, or a country like, or a city like Reykjavik? How do you strike that balance with local people and with visitors? They have over a 10-to-1 ratio of tourists. We have well over a 10-to-1 ratio. Same thing, just different scales. So those are the kinds of thinking we're trying to implement here. We're not just thinking of these little borders. We're thinking of this entire region. And we feel like we have the potential to be a springboard up to that central New York region. And I can't tell you where this offer is going at Wells, because I don't know. I'm meeting with the head of the entity that offered the proposal this afternoon. Again, courtesy of over across the street at the end. So I may know more and I may not. Right now, it's a lot of questions, but that's kind of where we are in a real quick summary nutshell. We're really looking forward to Kevin's proposals as they come along. And again, I hope you can use the success of Sue and her group to give the same consideration to Kevin and Tim and his group. So I'll stop there because I know time is of.
Well, that's quite a ride for you.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Very, very informative. So this is 25 years?
I'm starting year 24, so yes, because I started in January of 2003. So I've been here since inception, so I was the original employee that Pleasant had. And remember, she brings me, this is January of 03, and 4 or 5 buildings were supposed to open in May of 2003. 4 months later, there was no one else. I was the person on the team. 2003 is a bit of a blur for me. There it is, because it opened them up. I said open the projects up at the time. Jim was running the Fargo, so he would have been doing that one. But it's been quite the ride, that's for sure. And as I said, we're really proud of where we're at, but we have now, with the farmhouse, essentially fulfilled her mission here. And so the question is, and that's why I think a lot of us here is like, what's happening in Aurora next? It's really at a very pivotal moment, I guess I would say. You got the college. I think most of you guys know Pleasant is in her mid-80s. There's going to be some changes, I think. And the question is, what does that look like? And how do you position us for success in the future? But the good news is, I think we work well together, the groups that are here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Kevin.
Right, well, we'll let you guys get back to the meeting there. Thanks, or at least I will. I have to get on to another day, so thanks so much. And as I said, if you are ever in need of meeting space, we're happy to have you down here. I know I've been on a number of county boards. It's nice sometimes for people to come out of Auburn for us and for you to see what's happening in this area.
Very nice.
But we've got plenty of meeting space. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
If you advise through Michael, it's easier to go through one person.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. Yeah,
We'll see you again.
yes, good luck, Jim.
You're gonna need more luck. Hey,
Thank you for that, Michael. That was
My-
very good.
My pleasure, and I do again thank the board for, willing to come down here and to hear from some of, our leaders at the local level for here in Aurora. As we're all touching on, the village itself has changed dramatically over the last 20 odd years, with Pleasant's investment, which in my perspective, kind of lifted the village out of poverty of where it was headed. And in my own observation, the college may have shut down years prior, if not for her investment to the properties here, as well as what she did independently with the college itself. Also of note is we have Mackenzie Childs just outside of the village as well, and another very large economic driver within the region. So the village is patronized by people from all over the world. So keeping in mind the size of investment that has gone into these properties over the last 20 odd years, as Sue said, in excess of $300 million there. So what the IDA has been able to do to incur that investment time and again, and to see that return in the form of occupancy and sales tax back to the county at large has been terrific to see, as well as what we're looking to do with the golf course to complement those efforts as a tourist destination. I believe we've all agreed that as devastating with the college closing being, it's also an enormous opportunity that we're all very much interested in. Again, we just heard this news last week. I myself have had independent communication with the new owner just as recently as this morning. So maybe meeting with him tomorrow or by phone next week. And I'll be very interested to share, their plans moving forward, and hopefully it complements everything else that we're looking forward here. And again, I'm sure you all know this, is we have this little hub of tourism here within Aurora and the larger zone surrounding it. But within the southern Cayuga region here is where many of our farmers are actually members of Cayuga Milk Ingredients. So it's this really interesting intersect of ag and tourism here. And I'm very certain there's a pathway for agro-tourism going into the future here. And it certainly would be helpful to see that complement going back and forth. And that not to be overlooked is that we also have Cayuga Lake sitting right there as well. So we have all these assets coming here, and this is just one little part of Cayuga County. We have this throughout Cayuga County here, going from where we are now all the way up to Sterling and Fairhaven on Ontario. So there's nothing but opportunity in my perspective. But again, to have everyone here today to hear from some of our village leaders and stakeholders is
Be nice
real
to
treat.
meet once in a while
I
in
agree.
different parts of the county. I mean, not every month, it would be a lot. I think we all pretty much live in the same place, but to listen to what's going on, I think it would it's
Certainly.
nice.
Certainly. I agree, and I'd be more than happy to help facilitate
And
that.
also helpful to them because they may not know what the IDA is.
Yes, and that is actually one of our
Goals.
objectives and goals, is to have that outreach directly with our various municipal leaders throughout the county, and to make sure they better understand what the IDA is and what we can do for the businesses within their area as well.
One of the things we asked Mike to do is to come to the town supervisor meetings, once in a while. Try to get the local town leaders.
Yes, is to make sure there is that connection and communication with, our town municipal leaders, is, they're basically the CEO of that town, of what can we do for you and how can we help? And even if I'm not meeting with the group directly, it's been independent outreach with them. So we're in communication, and that's part of our mission, is to help them, because it helps everyone at the larger scale for the county.
Right.
Mike, any idea how much? What's the tax? For hotels here?
The occupancy tax.
Any idea how much they throw off out of here?
I couldn't tell you right offhand. I'm certain Sue knows that off the top of her head.
Well, sure, yeah.
But they are, if not, I believe they are the leader in contributing to occupancy
Yeah,
tax
I was
for
gonna say.
all of Cayuga County.
It would seem like.
You got 300 million into this. You're throwing off some, okay, yeah. So that's an investment we want to protect, yes.
Any other questions on that in particular? Okay.
Right in your
well,
report, or was that your report?
That was a big portion of my report there, so.
As a rule.
Oh,
So you have my written report, but as always, some walk-on updates here. A big portion of what I wanted to share with the board was around Wells College on that end there. As just briefly mentioned, once I have an opportunity to meet with the lead of the Hiawatha Institute, I'd be happy to share that with the board. I've been in very good and close communication with Mayor Orman in particular on that. With the thought that it starts with the village, and you hold the zoning and permitting control for what ultimately happens here, and we're in the position of how can we help, not just for the village, but for this entity coming in, and how can this be to the benefit of everyone there. So a unique development and hopefully a very good one, and we'll be following up on that. Some of the other key project updates we have is we're still working with the Sunny Solar projects on our labor monitoring position here. They were just acquired by another firm over the last week or so. Justin and I are looking to schedule a quick meet and greet with them, if not tomorrow or early next week, and to also work through some of the outstanding labor reports that we've required of them so far. So we're going to get up to speed on that much sooner than later. We have been working with the MRB team to begin the site survey and subdivision analysis for the sale of property to Doug Wayne. Again, that's that odd triangle for the property we own next to the mall there. So that's going along without issue. It's shared with the board. Last month, we did successfully close on the small scale solar project up in Sterling. And we're also working with Low Key Brill to put down in the labor monitoring that project there. We do have, or rather have received a letter of interest for a small portion of property we own over in the Aurelius IDA Park. It's right across the street from where the milk plant is. It's about 2.5 acres or so, and another 2+ acres of that is wetlands. We should have something ready for the board to review at the regular February meeting there. With the holiday break, we got certainly thrown off as a lot of communication went dead for about 2 weeks.
what kind of business is it, or?
The best way to put it is it's a very familiar business. We've worked with them before, so I don't see as to any reason why the board would be adverse to it. And it'll make much more sense once I bring this to the board formally on that end. But I personally have no issue with it and believe it's actually a good thing for both that company and for the IDA as well. Lastly, just actually spoke with Barton and LaJudas yesterday on some of the development they've begun doing in the analysis of the property up in Brutus there. I'll be checking in with them on a bi-weekly basis moving forward. Part of their constraints right now due to time of year and what the weather is, they can't actually get out into the property to do a very specific wetland delineation and observation. So they've been doing mostly desktop work at this time, pulling together all code and zoning from the village itself, utility analysis and infrastructure, desktop assessment of wetland delineation, floodplain, as well as wetlands on the property itself. Ms. Marshall, you actually came up in conversation as a former owner of the property, so we may actually pull you into one of those conversations. reminder to the board, we separated the agreement to say we have phase one of what we're looking to do, and if that proves to be promising, we'll then go into a phase two. But we still need to get through phase one here, which should be completed over the next month, targeting around the end of February, maybe beginning of March there. But if we find out sooner than then that it's not something worth pursuing, we'll stop. And if it's otherwise, we'll continue moving forward, but I'll certainly look to keep you up to date on all of that there. Couple of other very quick items here, on the office space front, we're pretty much set there. I just need to order the IT parts. I have been working with the county IT department to get, TV screen and all that other stuff, but I think they've had their hands tied pretty tight, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take care of that myself. Otherwise, we are all set up for meetings moving forward, so next month, February, we should have our regular meeting there. So we're good to go on that end there, and I got us water and some tissues for the occasion, as well as pens.
Expecting a lot of crying or?
That's right. We got some Clorox to go with it.
Clorox.
Yeah.
That is funny. I
Well,
saw the office supply order and was very impressed with Michael's forethought, actually.
Oh, good.
Very good.
As Tracy said, we do have our formal financial audit beginning next week. Tracy and I began some of the preliminary work with them so far. Also being handled by Tracy as she's in deep, if not neck deep, into QuickBooks, going through all of that, and transactions we've completed over the last year will certainly make that interesting. But I do not imagine we're going to be in any sort of bad position there. This should be a very clean audit for us moving forward. And lastly, we do have our Paris reporting. That's the mandated annual reports that go into the state system that's due end of March, but I've already begun some of the early work on that there. And I know Tracy and Grace Crissette have already sent out our annual reporting forms to our various clients. So we should get those in over the next month and should be moving forward on that without issue. So that's a quick highlight of the walk-on stuff, but I'm happy to answer any questions between that and anything in the.
I would like to go back to the Brutus Farm thing for
Yes.
just a second. The Water and Sewer Authority has been working for 3 months with Tom Blair, the supervisor from Senate,
Yes.
to try to get its permission to put a water line in, which would encompass our line so that we could furnish water all the way north from Auburn if we had breaks like we did a couple months ago. He has held it up. I should have talked to you ahead of time, but I didn't even think about it till you read your item on Brutus, that he said he has been working with you on the possibility of doing an industrial development area in the town of Senate with the proposal of buying some land there. And that is important to us because if that is in the works, we have to increase the size of the line that we put in. And he wanted me to determine some way whether, so sometime we need to have a discussion if there is any interest at all in that property in Senate.
It's certainly, so what I can share, and we can have a greater discussion outside of the meeting here, but I can share with the whole group, is I certainly have spoken with Tom about exploring some properties over in the town of Senate. And I've done that with him for the last couple of years of poking around to see if this looks like a pretty good property. Do you know the owner? Can you put me in touch? And we haven't been able to move the needle very far on that. Couple of the properties, and they're all farm-owned properties, one of which is a very large one, and I can share the name outside of this meeting here, but I'm sure I would say the name and you would say they're never going to sell that. So that is typically what I'm usually running up against is we find a good piece of property and it's in the right location. It either has or is within striking distance of utility infrastructure. And it's just out of reach because we don't have a willing seller on that. But that said, I have remained in contact with Tom. Nothing recently that has flared up to say we have something real here, but I do recall sitting down with you and some members from the town board over the last couple of months
Yeah.
discussing that very project. And I think that was part of the reason Tom invited me, was say, wait a minute, we're gonna do this. We don't want to go back and redo it if there's a larger opportunity here. And I completely agree. So at anything that comes up, I'll be reaching out to you and
He
water and
did give
sewer.
us a letter of support to put that in, and I
Right.
did give him that we would increase the size of the line to any size he wanted if that was still under discussion. So that is going forward, and you and I could maybe have a discussion on that sometime. to
Sure.
see how reliable it is. Thank you,
Sure.
Michael.
I had a question, Michael, what is the pro housing? Brutus Town Board meeting pro housing?
So there is a mandate from the state right now, or not a mandate, but an enormous amount of incentive for communities throughout New York State to be certified pro housing, saying we want growth within our community and we're not going to constrain ourselves to any housing type. We want to see market rate, multifamily, affordable workforce. You just have to be demonstrating as a community that are looking forward to this growth, and that will open up granting opportunities to improve infrastructure for that very thing. I'm sure Tracy can connect or correct me where I may err on this, but that's the intent here. So Aurora itself is certified pro housing. So is the village of Weedsport itself. Auburn is, a number of our municipalities are, our towns, not so much.
Part of Owasco did last year.
So Owasco is a unique case there. Brutus in particular,
So what does that mean? Like somebody could just go put up a trailer or?
no,
No, so there's still restrictions.
yes,
Okay. Got it.
yes, and that was part of the reason I was invited to go up there. Is both myself and the county planning department have had conversations with the town board about becoming certified pro housing because of where they are and their nexus along Interstate 90 and Route 31. And I'm sure everyone heard groundbreaking for Micron is tomorrow. So with all that said, Brutus has been a noted hotspot along with Weedsport for new housing development. And the town board had requested that I come up to better explain some of the opportunities that come from being certified pro housing, in addition to development opportunities within that area, as well as
Great.
just being really primed for growth within that area. I do believe they are looking to move forward on that with the assistance of the county planning office to do some of the due diligence.
That's good.
for people.
Thank you.
Well, but we looked at it in Springport, and actually, the really is the village of Cayuga, they sold the old school,
Mhm.
and they've got a lot of low income. They've gotten a lot of issues. It creates a huge load on the school system.
That's the problem with housing. Is housing, a lot of times is more of a burden than it is a plus. Because they want all the infrastructure to schools and they want it cheap.
Yeah, and it's created a lot of negative activity with the police officers also. So from the, it's fine to talk about it, but
Cayuga got beat up on that house development.
something wicked,
Yeah,
something wicked. And the state promises one thing,
yeah, and they did the opposite.
and then they just do whatever they like.
Is this the one that was with Jefferson?
Yeah,
Really?
They were supposed to just do the school, change that into housing,
Right,
and
right.
then they put up a huge complex next to it.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah. We worked farms all around it.
interesting.
no, and it's kind of interesting, like the, well, like Springport, we've got a couple marinas and the campgrounds, and just like with Pleasant's model, you're bringing in a lot of people in the summer. They're spending a lot of money. If you talk to the local businesses in Union Springs, half their income comes from the summer people. And then right right around when you gotta start spending money for the schools, the roads and so forth, they all leave. Well, it's a nice business model. And if you have high income, high cost housing, that's good too, because you're bringing in a big tax base. But the low cost housing, it's really a negative impact on the towns and villages, so I'm
Because
not
once
surprised.
you go pro housing, you can't control that.
So I'm sure everyone here knows this, and certainly our new town supervisor for Springport, it's all at the local level of what is zoned where. You still have to go through the permitting process. It still has to fall within, code and zoning for that particular area. And it's always up to the voters or the boards to say, we're going to approve this project one way or another. So
Yeah, that's what anytime we deal with the state, that's what we're told. And then we typically, you'll pardon me, get sold down the river. It's all these, it's like that $10 million that Aurora, Union Springs and Cayuga got. That comes with more hooks than you can imagine. I talked to, who's the guy that's got the marina there in Cayuga?
Roger Mills?
Oh,
Yeah, Roger Mills, right? So he got, I think, $5 million, right? But he's gotta spend $6 million of his own to get the 5. And then you're not 100% sure you get the 5. So for a local business guy, it's like, do I really wanna roll these dice? Well, it's like having a baker you can't depend on.
Well, then you
I
gotta
don't
jump
know,
through all the
maybe,
hoops to
but,
get it.
They'll only lend you money when you don't need it.
That's
You need
exactly
money.
right. That's
If you
exactly
need
right.
money.
You don't need it, we wanna give it to you. Exactly right.
I'm just kidding.
No, you're actually correct.
Yeah.
That's an interesting perspective, Andy, about the housing, because I know in the town of True, we know that we have the say-so as to the type of housing. We went through our comprehensive plan, and the public, the residents, they all came out to voice their opinion as to, what they wanted the community to be like, whether or not we were going to allow businesses to come in. We don't have many. And if we want to maintain the agricultural feel and so on, etc. So I know what the state says, but what I experienced with our town was the people were allowed to vote as to, how they'd like the makeup to be. And so I know that people do enjoy their space. And so we have younger people, but the majority is not. So there was the ask of if we wanted apartments, multi-units and stuff like that. And people were able to say, no, it really wasn't what they wanted. And, we made the decision accordingly. So in your town, it doesn't work the same.
No, I'm
or-
telling you what happened in
Oh.
Cayuga and
Cayuga.
Oh,
Orleans.
in Cayuga, all right.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
maybe it's
But,
just different there.
and you say that and that's all fine, but, look at these solar projects. At first, it's totally up to the towns. And then the state took over and they'll do what they want.
for a certain size, yes, that's where the state becomes an intervener
Yes.
for the permitting process.
And then you can either go along or get cut right out. I'm a little concerned.
That's
with
not
the
always the
neighbors.
case.
I have one more question, Michael. Are you still gonna try to put a sign up on the parcel that we have right on the arterial? The one that's on the corner across from Dunkin' Donuts?
I need to get back to you on that because I wanted to speak to Cayuga Milk about it. Right now, they have their sign up there. And I wanted to coordinate with them to say, well, I don't want to say for sale and have it perceived as milk for
Right.
sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they wanna buy it and they can put a nice pretty sign up.
Yeah,
With the size of their building they have, they need a big ass sign up there.
Well, it actually
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense, for an entryway sign to say, here's your various businesses coming
Yeah, that
down
would be
there.
good,
Right
yeah.
now, it just says Cayuga Milk Ingredients, and while they are taking up the majority of the park, we do also have Sunburn Sales, Dunkin'
Well,
Donuts.
they may all wanna contribute to that. You could, shave off a piece of it for that. But on the same, what are you laughing at?
Huh?
Why are you laughing?
They won't want to contribute.
All right, well, their business, they, you know, they want to
Yes.
sign, but if not, then we should be able to sell that parcel for a pretty good chunk,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so. I mean,
Yes,
Yeah, I agree with you. We should sell it.
Mike has talked to several prospective buyers.
several.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a great location.
Yeah.
The basic problem is it's right on solid stone.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, it's,
Salad.
so, I mean, solid.
Yeah, cause I
One
tried
of
to
the,
pitch
one
it
of
to
the
someone
problems is
too. and they
Mike
were
has
like,
talked to
No,
some service stations and,
Dynamite,
yeah,
Oh, my goodness.
dynamite takes care of it all.
yeah. He's talked to some service stations and they have no interest because
They
of putting
probably
tanks in.
never do that.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
Midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Boom, boom.
It's not exactly how they do it.
Well,
Oh, John, it's possible.
yeah, dynamite.
You always tell me, if you want to spend enough money, we can make it happen. That's the deal.
That's exactly right.
More questions for Mike?
Yeah, you know, just getting back to the minutes for a second, Mike, the RPTL 487. So we talked about that. Can we get somebody that's versed in this to do a presentation to us so we can better understand this?
Sure.
I mean, that would be helpful.
You have an
to me.
expert on the TV.
Who's, oh, yeah, yeah.
Justin.
Justin's there. Hey, Justin, I don't think it was there.
Hey, how are ya?
Maybe if you
Happy
could
to
do a
help.
presentation, Justin, on this for us. I'm a little, because Mr. Montone, you know, had some good things to say about it. I tried to read up on it and frankly, I got lost. And I would love to understand the difference and why somebody or a solar company would want to go 487 versus a pilot that we offer. So that would be of interest to me. Doesn't have to be, you know, totally in depth, but just something where we could understand, or I could understand the difference between the two.
Yeah, I mean,
You don't
you've
have to, you don't have to
experienced,
do that now.
it's okay, yeah, you've seen some of the impact and process with the Norbert solar farm adjacent to the industrial park. Solar developers generally have two options. If they want to not pay full taxes, they try to get 487 exemptions pilots through a school, town, county, village. And if they can't get that, or if they're not able to get that, they have the IDA as an option. So those are the two routes.
All right, so, yeah, you know what, all right, I mean, I don't wanna do it in this meeting, because I know it wasn't on the agenda, but maybe we can tap you for the next meeting or the meeting thereafter, Justin. Just so I could ask a couple more questions, I guess.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Happy to help.
All right, thank you, Justin.
Yep.
That's all I have, Michael.
Okay. We did office space, correct?
Yes.
Wiki bill, drill labor monitoring.
So I touched on that as well. We have been running into some issues with Sunny's folks about getting some more timely reports on this end. And at the same time, they have just been acquired by a different firm. Actually, I have a couple emails going around this morning about them getting those updated. As also mentioned, Justin and I will be looking to connect with the new owners either tomorrow or early next week. And this is going to be one of our top items for cleanup is getting this all together in very short order.
So they sold the company?
Yes.
Did you catch that, Rick?
So, they're not, it's not Loki, it's the solar company that's not doing the report.
Yeah, so low-key, what I will say is they've been very, very consistent in their reporting requirements to the company there. To have weekly and bi-weekly reports submitted. In keeping with what our original agreement with them was of the X amount of local labor to be used, and they have to send in notarized
Right,
reports of what that looks like on a continual basis. But we also have a billing mechanism on a quarterly cadence due with the company, and that's where we're running into some of the harder ground with them on that there, and we're gonna be
Not paying us.
correct. And we have some side conversations going on that end there, and we're going to basically have that being one of our top discussion points with the new owners as part of this transition of benefit.
Further questions on that? New business. Year in review and for 26 forecast.
So you do have this in your packet, it's starting on page 36. What I provided here was a general project overview, and this is just from 2025 itself. We had something of a record year in terms of projects to be closed and approved on. I'll start with CMI and GBH. We did have a revised application from them earlier this year as part of their expansion project itself. And it grew in size in terms of total investment dollars to over $270 million, and that being the single largest private investment in Cayuga County's history. That we successfully closed on, and we did also have the ribbon cutting back in June, if you recall, for those who were able to attend that event. Part of the outcomes from this is the retention of over 100 jobs and the expansion over the next 3 to 5 years of over 150 jobs at that facility there. So certainly your crown jewel of everything that has gone on within the park and what the IDA has been able to do. We did also sell our last and largest remaining parcels within the park, and that's roughly 30 acres. We closed on that a few months ago. Part of that transaction and what we ended up doing is working with Denkebeck as well in helping them to establish a new warehouse on site and doing a little bit of horse trading, for lack of a better word, with Cayuga Milk. So they had enough acreage on their lot for that expansion. That's more of a retention project, as we discussed back then earlier this year. And I don't mean to bring up anything bad for Justin, but we did also close on the Finger Lakes Rail project back in May, I believe, if not June of this last year. And that was over a year in the making. We worked with 5, 6 other counties on that project there, and that will be another 10-year project. What's unique about this one moving forward is we typically had a flat fee amount that the IDA received, and it would be bumped up every couple of years. What we're going to be doing going forward is incurring an administrative fee based on their capital expenditure year over year. So it looks to be a fluctuating thing, but we're basing our forecasted estimates on what they provided as part of their plan. So
How long is that agreement for?
it is 10 years, and we had a pilot with them going back to the 90s, early part of the 90s. One of the items myself and our county counterparts discussed is this is probably the last time we're going to do this, as it's been a very, very long pilot. And part of the IDA's mission is get you to a certain point that you're up and on your own. This has been a very, very long time. So
I remember you specifically brought that up when we did that they could not continue to never pay any taxes on that. If we're firm on that, I think they should know that.
that they're quite aware of it, and where myself and other members throughout the county were all in agreement on it. We do have a number of businesses that rely on Finger Lakes Rail for transport of materials and goods, and they're a key player within our economic life cycle.
Yeah, to me, it's arguably a little different, because like, you don't get property taxes off the roads.
And they just have their infrastructure there. So, yeah. And we've already seen some upgrades they've been doing throughout counties specifically along the arterial. as I'm
We
sure-
need the railroad and it needs to be done fairly, but they can't continue to start over again on these pilots and never, ever get to the point where they pay anything.
Yeah, they do another pilot just to
They do another pilot
Just to
just
get out of it.
to
Yeah.
restart
Start the deal.
their plot.
plat. Yep. Yeah, we've had a couple of them businesses do that.
Yeah.
So moving on from the rail, some of the other projects we closed on this year is the Sunny's projects. We had done a partial closing back in 2024. That was just on the sales and use tax portion. We closed on the pilot earlier this year, and we had a couple of restarts on that, but we did formally close on that. In September, we did also work with Burn Dairy, Sunburn Sales on their expansion for both warehousing and bakery production over in the Aurelius Park. And the final two items is we did end up providing an extension of benefits to the ends of Aurora for the farmhouses. Costs escalated, as Sue made reference to earlier on that item. And lastly, the small scale solar project up in Sterling. So collectively, what the IDA was able to bring in fees from these various projects was in excess of $2.6 million on this end here. And as we go through our Paris reporting, have a comprehensive set of total job creation and retention, as well as property tax impacts from all these various projects for this year. Full write-up on everything else we've gone through on this year, but some of the other key outcomes we've had throughout this last year is we fully completed the sewer project. We got our grants in, everything came through, so we are all done with that. The only thing left on our end to do there is any reporting is necessary, and we'll work with water and sewer on that going forward. We've had extensive conversations with several different investors for Wells College, and I was not expecting that when I put this together, that it would be sold within the last week, but that will become a major item for 2026. As made reference to earlier, we're working towards property evaluation for parcel up in Brutus, and whether or not that turns out, it is a big step for us to finally get something moving on that end there. From an operational perspective, we have our office selected, up and running. We've updated our IDA application with numerous adjustments to it. We now have an annual processing fee. We've engaged with Low-Key Grill for labor monitoring services. We've also established the mitigation fee for that, as well as updating our tax exempt policy for renewable projects in particular. The IDA probably doesn't remember as quite well, but you did support the SBDC throughout 2025, providing critical small business support for all of Cayuga County. So I think the board ought to be very proud of that, because in lieu of it, there would have been zero business support, small business support throughout the county.
Will
So
they be moving into our office?
no,
Oh, there was talk about it.
no, that they will be going over to the city as the free option there. So, and they only have one person on staff. So
Michael, can I just jump in for a second with regards to SBDC? So on a I guess a slightly off topic, I did have a chance to look at, they were helping a client in Cayuga County. And I did have a chance to look at what they provide, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
These guys, it was not as good as you would have done.
Obviously.
I just want to get that out. But it really, for what they charge, which is nothing, and what they produce, I was
The
amazed.
whole business plan of.
Everything, the projections, it was extremely professional. One of the best
Yeah.
presentations I'd seen.
They do a tremendous job with almost no money.
Correct,
And then they help with when someone's
Yeah,
trying to get a big. loan.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's so.
someone's trying to get what?
A
If
bank
you want to
loan.
pass that along to them, I was very impressed.
I'd be more than happy to share that with our
I've had a
regional
few,
director.
I've known a few people that have gone through the process with them.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
outstanding.
very thorough, very well thought out, yes.
Especially like if you're like you're a mason or something. If you're gonna be a small business, you gotta be good at everything.
Yep,
And they help you
Yes.
a lot with that.
absolutely.
Of note, and I should certainly mention this, they can work with any business that is 500 employees or less, which makes the majority of businesses within the county eligible to work with them. And they also have an extensive research network. And I've used them for a couple of different research topics, and they also have been helping to groom some clients to get prepared for IDA applications that we're actually
Yeah.
expecting this year as well. So very good resource and relationship with them there. So again,
Will we be funding them again this year? Or
no,
the county.
that was one of the proposals that Tracy and I and other ED coordination members recommended to the county for his economic development budget, was funding SBDC in full to continue that service. So that takes the burden off the IDA, and it really should be on the county because it's countywide service that everyone can and should be able to enjoy.
Right.
Operationally, the last couple of items is we are now engaged with Locate FLX for our marketing services. We've also procured Bonadil Group to grow with our operations as our auditing firm. And the reason for that is our budget and our balance sheet has grown extensively over the last couple of years. I believe Deal will be a great partner in growing with us on that end. And we are fully remote on all of our operational processes, including QuickBooks 365, as well as our IT services, data and security. So we're in the 21st century here on everything. And I don't believe we've had any issue that I'm aware of. Tracy can correct me otherwise, but we've had zero issues in any sort of communication or protocols necessary on that one. So that's been very, very good in my opinion there. From stakeholder public relations perspective, we've done a lot over the last year, aside from working with Cayuga Milk on not just their projects, but as well as promoting their business and attending their ribbon cutting. I myself been fortunate to work with the county on its strategic planning committee, advisory panel, the Brownfield Opportunity Assessment, the Micron Steering Committee. We're also going to have an opportunity to join with the county once they get the housing market study off the ground. That's one of the big things coming up in 2026. And within my position itself is our county chair, John Anna, appointed me to the Regional Economic Development Council. So I sit as the county's representative for that as a voting member of the council. And we've gone through a number of projects over the last year, and certainly more to come up this year. And it's very impactful council and a broader region that we're a part of here. For 2026 itself, we have some major things to go through. Obviously, Wells is a big one that we're going to be going on. Again, property up to Brutus. We do have the mall property in flux, as we've had several different conversations going on with that there. Again, we've talked about this for the last couple of years, but now we're going to really see what the impact is of Micron with the groundbreaking tomorrow. Everyone I have spoken with very close to the project is to expect quite a bit of announcements and activity over the next several months here once some dirt and shovels are really in the ground. So quite an exciting time for that. You may have also heard just from the county's planning committee the other night, as they're approved to move forward with a countywide economic development strategy. And again, that was part of what we had recommended to the county chair as part of the 26 budget. And that will be a key document in moving forward of one-stop shop services for the county at large here. Some of our key projects of note going into this year are two mega renewable projects. The Nexera Solar Project up in the town of Conquest, as well as the Agricola Wind Project down here in the towns of Venice and Scipio. And we actually got a note from the developer just last night of their intent to apply for IDA benefits. And as shared with the board, it's Ray knows this, has been in very good contact with our town supervisors on that project in particular. So those are some of our mega projects there, but we do have a number of other smaller scale projects within the pipeline with of all the things, in particular emphasis on housing that's been coming up. And this is not small scale, but very large scale housing projects in excess of $10 million. So those are some of the big, large items here, and there's a lot of smaller things to share. But with all that said, happy to go into any more detail of any of those items, either here or outside of the meeting.
How are we about the mall property before we buy more property? Is there any movement about doing something with that?
Yes, so one of the things we actually wrapped up, and it's in the report here last year, is we had engaged with MRB
Right,
to conduct a market study and a high-level site analysis of the property, and we had some key outcomes from that. But we've also had, specifically last year for a period of time, very engaged conversations with the existing mall owners on a potential development project there. Have run into some bumps in the road since that time, so we're reevaluating some of the prior thoughts of development on the property. There's certainly interest, but necessary development required to make it as marketable as possible from that end. So we are going to refocus what is real and is close to moving the ball forward on that this year. And once we sell off a portion of property for Doug Wayne, that'll leave about 40-ish developable acres there. That's off of 5 and 20 and next to a rail, and certainly put a spur on the property there too.
Can we get a spur?
We could get a spur on the property.
If we sell, like, okay, we still have that option.
We could.
Just to backtrack a little with regards to the wind farm and, what's the big project? Solar Conquest. And I don't know where all the power's going, but based on last month's meeting, can we ask Capusa? Because Capusa indicated that at one point they have the ability to do certain things,
Right,
especially the wind project, because I don't think the wind project is as settled as the Conquest project. So can we ask for how they can come in and divert some of that energy? Because that was a discussion.
right.
So what can Capusa do? Can we get some type of proposal, or they can sit at the table with us, be prepared to have a discussion with the wind company? But I was very interested in the fact that you can buy the cheaper power, or you can buy power and sell it cheaper to county residents.
Right.
How we do that? Not today, but I mean, can we get that ball rolling?
I think we desperately need to get that started, just.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know anything about it, but Capusa,
I think Capusa put an attorney on the board,
Yes,
and I think maybe that lawyer could spend some time to adjust it.
that'd be fine, but
a lot of this power. I sort of know from doing the digester project at the county soil and water. A lot of this power is green, what they call green power. And a lot of it goes to California.
Okay.
And California pays like third more than anybody else. And that's the issue is the dollars.
No, I'm sure it always is, but
Yeah.
I guess what I'm,
But the problem is that the California and that type of thing pays a premium for green energy.
No, but
And it prices the local people out of it.
right, but if we're gonna negotiate a pilot.
I agree with you. No, I
We
just,
need them in to find out what they can do
Yeah, they
and
can't do.
and what they
Yeah,
can't
what
do.
would the,
and-
what would
and
be the
what benefit
proposal?
We can get out of it.
right,
Correct, what would be the proposal from Capusa that we can take into
the
the
negotiation.
negotiation?
the fact is that
Cause I'm kind of heartbroken.
if we're gonna give them a pilot, before we give them a pilot, we
That's
got,
when we have to do
we
it, right?
got strings on it.
That, I think the only chance we have, but I think like Ray or somebody said, the two real large ones are kind of controlled by the state. And that to some extent leaves us out of the ability.
Well, I
But we
think-
need
I
that
think you
together
can
so we
ask.
know what.
But we
I
can
think
ask,
you can
and
ask.
also there's probably gonna be other projects coming down the road.
Oh,
And so
absolutely.
this would.
That's
prepare
gonna be
for
the
those.
problem with the windmills, is it's gonna be a mega lot deal. And the
Yeah.
state, I had a long discussion with one of the ladies that's totally trying to drive them out of here. I told her, I says, if you don't have some local control, the state's gonna take it over and you're gonna get what they give you.
Yeah, well, I don't wanna get into the.
No, I don't.
But
Yeah,
your point is very, very well taken, John.
No,
We
what-
should try to find out what chance we have of getting anything.
Correct.
Yeah.
Very
Well,
good
what-
idea.
What breaks my heart,
Surprised.
yeah. Well, it breaks
Well,
my heart with these,
I did, John.
with these solar projects is. We don't get the construction jobs, which are, there's no long-term jobs. So we're not like getting anything.
Well, we get money. I mean, we collect the money and, well,
I'm talking the county, but yeah,
Right.
we get the.
But it's supposed to be
Which is
healthy.
nice,
right.
but I think if we could get something funneled,
We get cheaper power, absolutely.
yeah, and I think that might be something that could differentiate.
The homes around it, like,
Yeah.
Well,
we get 5% because we're commercial. My
Yeah.
son gets 10% discount, which is peanuts.
To your point, differentiate, that's what
well,
we're
it could
gonna come.
differentiate us from Seneca County and.
Yeah.
You know, if we could provide businesses with, like Nucor. You know, I'm sure that's a big driver for them.
Oh, they use power.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
to clarify, we're asking Capusa to present to us, what they would
Oh,
propose. if
they did
got-
last month.
No,
so
in writing.
We wanna go next
Like
step.
an
We-
actual
yeah, We wanna
proposal.
go next step, right?
Yeah.
Right, I agree,
That's
but
it, but
Yeah,
go to the
John,
next level.
she wasn't here last
Yeah.
month, so
to know
They-
just
they
what they're
came last month.
how they would propose, like partnering with us to figure out how they do their business. All right, there we go. Just one.
Okay. There you go.
Like these big dairy farms, John, they use a lot of power.
The what?
The dairy farms, these big farms use a mammoth amount of power. And they rate us commercial. We get hardly any break from them, even though they're right on our land.
No, and then like us with the campground.
Right.
We got that demand charge.
Yep.
So whatever, it was funny because I was talking to that guy one time. He had the big machine, and he said if he turns it on. It'll peak his demand and it'll increase his electric bill $100 a month for the whole year. Cause at demand charge, they charge you for whatever your peak use is for the year.
Right. That reminds me, I gotta pay my bill.
Yeah, well,
That's it.
That's
Thanks.
your report.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
any questions, any further questions for Mike? Okay, nominations for the year.
I thought we're doing that. It's on the agenda, on the backside of the agenda for next month.
Yes, yes, that's a different topic, the governance.
Oh,
Part of the annual meeting, you need
oh, okay.
your nomination.
Oh,
We have
The
resolution.
thing in the back is for governments and our regular board meeting.
That's where you're gonna go over what you have in your packet. Nobody's allowed to leave, by the way. You have both your fiduciary form as well as your evals. And that's what's going into the governance meeting for next month.
Well, the governance, we never met this.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what I said, we
yeah,
were
well,
supposed to meet ahead of time, so we haven't even had a chance to talk.
Well, and I thought we were pushing it out to the February meeting
That's what,
till we got the,
can we just do it all at once?
There's no reason to do it now if we didn't do it in December.
It's part of your annual meeting historically, but I'm not any expert on what, you know, has to be done. So I'm looking at Tracy, Rick and Justin to say, can this?
well, we should have done it in December, and I think next time, regardless of what the legislature's gonna do, we should do our thing in December or change the terms to be from March to March. One or the other.
Well, do we know if everybody's getting reappointed by the county?
I was just gonna say this.
So how this works is.
That's
Well,
what that's why we put it off, guys.
Well, we won't know that till Tuesday.
What's Tuesday?
That's when they meet.
I thought the meeting on the second.
No, that's just an organization, they didn't appoint anybody.
Well,
It's-
it's,
Yeah.
it's the part of the process that I'm familiar with is this board makes recommendations to the county legislature, either reappointing members that are up, so both Ray, Andy and John, your terms are technically up effective 12/31. However, you remain on the board unless you're reappointed by county legislature. We also have.
Or disappointed.
Disappointed.
Yes,
Letter.
and Bob Shea is an example of that. His term is technically up the end of last year.
Yeah.
So he's running on an expired term effectively, so. You know, the terms themselves are a local practice at state law level. You stay on the board unless the county legislature decides you're off.
That's right.
Right. So from today, you can do a couple of things, go through the officer nominations. We can do the resolution to appoint officers, you vote on that as well as who's.
I thought part of the reasoning not to do it in December was somebody was concerned if there was a change, who would be on the board.
Me.
Well, that was also Andy.
No, I was against it. I thought we should have voted in December. Which you two said we should wait, and I said, okay, let's wait.
You did agree with us.
Well,
Regardless,
Okay.
then we recommend our recommendations to the Planning and Economic Development Committee. They met last night,
Or Tuesday night.
so
yeah.
there ain't no recommending to them.
yeah,
So if they've made up their mind what they're going to do, there's no sense of us at this point making a recommendation to them when we've gone past the time to make the
Yeah.
recommendation.
Well, what is, so you
Don't
asked,
understand.
you just asked Justin and Rick and Tracy to chime in on what?
Yeah, the resolution itself for moving forward, it's my understanding it basically has to go forward here.
The officers, and I don't know, lawyers can correct me, but I think if the board wanted to, they could say, we're gonna keep officers until next month and.
just told me, yeah.
that's what we.
If you don't want to do the annual,
Yeah,
you could do it that way, because
So-
it's official.
but then I also think we need to make a decision.
I mean, actually, technically, we probably should have appointed Ray interim chairman of the
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah,
Technically,
yeah.
but it carried over.
But then I think, like I said, we should either do what we've typically done in December. Or even November, or if we wanna wait for the legislature. Then we almost need to move out to a month.
But
By then year's a third over.
yeah, but it's
Well,
not,
you
it's not up,
changed
we can't change the term of our things.
Yeah.
The legislature or the state determines when our terms are. We can't, because we want it in March,
Yeah,
don't mean anything.
yeah,
If they make their appointments early in January, if we wanna have any input, we need to do it in December. In
But
December,
did they make that decision as of yet, Mr. Marshall? Did they make the decision as to whom they're going to be appointing for the various agencies and committee, have they done so already? Cause I
No,
didn't think that's done already.
And it should be, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but it should be under this board's recommendation of who
So we
they-
should be making the recommendation before Tuesday?
No, we
Before-
should have done that in December.
right,
Wait,
Okay.
Michael, help me out, I'm asking you.
Mhm. You can make that recommendation today if there's consensus among the board to say, let's put officer elections off to the side for a moment, just the board itself to say, is anyone willing to step down or is there a vacancy? We have to make this recommendation to the county legislature.
So what, the recommendation is members, not officers.
right.
Right,
This
Right.
group,
right.
you choose who the
Chooses
officers.
Oh, okay, got it.
Members.
Yes.
Stormwater, we recommended. in
Members
December.
is the recommendation.
Right.
So,
That doesn't mean the county's gonna go along. with it.
correct,
Yeah,
correct.
but we have something to recommend to
Sure,
them.
I thought we'd already done that.
Exactly.
But see, the Herb's part, the subcommittee, the planning group has already met and forwarded their recommendation to the county.
I
No,
thought-
they
I
didn't
thought the-
because there was nothing on that agenda about the county IDA.
Unless Andy, you know something we don't.
No,
It
no.
Seems like you.
They didn't do any-
You feel so strongly that they've done it already. 'Cause
I
you're
talked to
saying-
two legislatures yesterday at my stormwater meeting.
Yeah,
There was no, there was
No
no committee
discussion.
assignments then.
Right. So.
I'm totally lost.
Me too. Well, we thought we were doing the right thing by waiting.
Well, that's the committee that you two sit on.
And Andy.
Government,
And then-
That's-
Right, no,
Right.
you're telling, yeah.
Yeah.
Governance, I mean, are you prepared?
Well, I think at this point,
No.
we're just saying that we just need to make sure the members, that the legislators know that the members are, these have,
Or
this is
still-
our recommendation for keeping.
And to, just for clarification, you know, the one, like the Mr. Lockwood and Marshall and Nishan, who their terms have expired, that we're recommending. If they don't have an issue, to stay on, right?
It-
Basically
it-
saying the board is intact is the recommendation.
Right, it would be a reappointment and I would have to fill out that form for them and then they would have to re-sign an oath book.
Okay. And so how do you feel comfortable?
Yeah.
I'm comfortable doing
Yeah.
that then.
Yeah.
Mr. Ryan Flash, are you comfortable doing that?
Yeah, well, I don't see the point, it's almost too late. You know, I think we should just let the county do what the county's gonna do.
I'm lost on that one,
Well-
because if they've not made, if they haven't met to make that decision, why are you thinking that it's too late? We are today and they're meeting on Tuesday, next Tuesday, so we have time to make the recommendation formally in order for them to vote on it. Why are you thinking that it's too late?
we should send in a recommendation as to who we wanna keep.
I know, but they haven't met yet, so I think we can still do that.
Actually, yeah,
But
that's-
Mr.
I'm
Ryan Flash
I'm
was
agreeing
saying-
with, I'm agreeing with you.
I know, but Andy's saying no, and I wanna understand, cause clearly, you know, I know that there are lots of things that I missed, so why do you think we're too late?
The only experience I've had with the legislature is when you give them something last minute, they're ticked about it.
Hmm.
You know, if you bring up a request without already having been on the agenda and giving them. Cause by the time Michael gets it into them, they've got to get it circulated around to all the legislators and we're pretty sharp on time.
And don't they expect to do this though? Isn't this part of the process for them that they make, you know, a decision as to who's gonna sit where, is not part of the standard? Or.
All you gotta do is send a sheet in to Sheila.
Yeah.
The legislature court.
Michael, do you have some guidance here?
Just make the recommendation and there's three members in particular between John, Andy and Ray and probably Bob as well. Because he's also expired at this point, but Mr. Marshall assumed Ben Fatale's term. And Gina and Donna, you're still on, so this is really just recommendations for those who have turned out at this point.
So. Yeah, I agree.
And the rationale was,
We might just well decide what we wanna do Donna and I do not have terms.
No,
Ben
don't,
Vitale made it very specific when the two of them were appointed. They were not appointed to terms. They were appointed at the pleasure of the legislature. The legislature now has 5 of this members have terms. 2 do not have terms.
I don't
That's the way
know.
it is, whether you like it or not.
I don't think that's the case. I have a term, do I not, sir?
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
We all,
Told that I have a term.
You and I do not have terms. Ben Vitale appointed you and himself on this board with no term. To serve at the pleasure of the legislature.
but we all do.
Yeah, we all do that. The term is at the pleasure of the
I'm telling
legislature.
you how you and you and Ben were appointed. You can disagree all you want, but that's the
Respectfully.
way it is.
And what about the attorneys in the room? Because this is news
But
to
this
me.
is
This is the.
county law.
We'd have to see what I'd have
You-
to go back and see.
You'd have to get a hold of Freddie.
First time I'm hearing that.
Yeah, me too.
What about you, sir?
I wasn't aware of that.
Yes, that is not
I
the
wasn't
case.
aware of that.
That's the way it is.
And
Apparently.
Mr. Marshall, I would do it because I did get a note from Sheila that says I had a specific time frame on it. It did not say that I'm indefinite. When she provided me with the form formally notifying me of it, it did have a term on it.
There's no reason to argue that here. They're just wasting our time.
Well, do we have a motion?
I'm opposed to, at this time, us making recommendations because the legislature, and I'm going from the 27 years I was on the legislative board. You get those recommendations in December and you go through the committees and decide what your view is, but you look at the recommendation. If the recommendations come in January, you've waited a month too long. You can all vote on it any way you want to. I don't
think
care.
you just
but I'm
said
not
we-
gonna vote on the recommendation.
you just said we should do the recommendation.
What?
Didn't you just say a couple minutes ago that you thought we should do the recommendation?
He was against it.
I thought it was.
No, he didn't. He just said, all right,
Well,
No, let's just make a motion.
do whatever you want to do with,
Yeah.
but look, there's no sense of us arguing about it.
Right.
I'd like to make a motion that we move forward with the recommendation. I'll
Which
second.
ones?
For the terming members
To be
to
reappointed.
be reappointed. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Well, plus Bob
Yes, Bob
and
is.
you and Herb, or no?
He's not,
All right. I just wanted to be clear on the name.
Oh, is there a second?
It's important. That is important.
Yeah, say that.
Right.
Is there a second?
second.
Is there any further discussion of this muddy issue?
No,
All in favor then?
Aye.
All opposed?
no.
So 2 no's, 4 yeses. You have that, Tracy? Okay,
So who was the second?
It's done.
Yeah.
Gina.
Gina.
Okay, back to the nominations. We're putting them off then. Is that the deal?
Yes.
So,
I mean, that would be my thought.
and that's what I want clarification on between Justin and Rick, just.
Yes,
Can we move the rest
let's make a motion to continue the existing officers until.
in a term basis and move the resolution to next month? Is that
Yeah.
okay?
I'd make that motion.
I'll second it.
Yeah, are you asking Justin?
I am.
Discussion?
I don't know if he heard you.
Justin?
Justin left.
I'm tired.
So the motion is to put the officer election off to the next.
Carry over the officer.
Yeah.
through the
Okay.
meeting.
We have motion, we had a second, right?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Good, March.
Who was the first and the second?
No.
Two
February.
gentlemen, I think that Andy
Yeah.
motioned and Mr. Marshall second.
No, that was.
It's like the
third month.
Drew Carey show, the points don't matter.
That's how we should have done that. The beginning.
Yes.
For right. and that's
Oh,
I might not be here next month. I'll be in San Antonio. That's where you should be. Everybody should be here today. We might have moved next month's meeting.
Her,
Okay, moving forward. Rebalance Director
Gina?
Services Proposal
Sorry.
and Brett Clover. Administrative Services Proposal.
Right, so these two, it's my proposal for 2026 as well as Tracy, as she made mention of last month, she'll be more moving into a. Self-employment contractor role. As requested by the board, she has her proposal here via Red Clover LLC.
And, yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
I want to cause trouble on this too. I would like to move that we hire Tracy for the next month and we let her present her proposal to Rick and have him review it and us vote on her proposal, but that we hire her tonight to do it at whatever rate I haven't seen her proposal.
Well, we're
Yeah,
going
yeah.
into executive session to discuss it. Let's do the.
That's
Is there a
okay.
motion to go into executive session?
Set,
Yeah,
moved, second.
All in favor? Oh,
Contract negotiations, I guess.
Yeah.
For 23. Who made the motion to come out of executive session?
I did.
Seconded by her,
Yes.
no action taken. Okay.
oh, this is awkward.
Oh,
Yeah.
why? Okay, well. We are going to make a motion to, well, it has to be done per person, right? So the
Yes.
proposal, Tracy's proposal, we are going to, for 30 days, yes, we are. Help me frame it.
I think the
Mr.
motion
Marco.
is to hire Tracy as a contract for the next month, for our next regular meeting,
Mhm.
at which time you're gonna entertain the actual proposed agreement and any changes the board wishes to make upon review with council.
Very good, yes, because it's primarily
And
going
then
to.
should we pay
school
her, should we
review.
pay her normal hourly rate, what, I know, for the next month?
Okay, very good.
So so.
Yeah, I understand, it's gonna be till February 1st would be MRB.
Yeah.
And then after February 1st, you can bill us from your own company for work done until our next meeting.
Until your next meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said I made a motion.
Yeah.
Is there more?
Yeah, when I do that, it's not.
Yeah.
is there a second?
Second, sorry.
The amount and.
Did you,
We said normal, you said
Yeah.
normal rate.
Didn't you say normal rate? Didn't you say?
Yeah, I don't fully understand what normal means.
Okay, ordinary rate she's been charging by the hour for MRB, just carry that over from February 1st to our next meeting. Carry it over from, obviously we carried
That's
over
fine.
until February 1st at MRB, and then that same hourly rate.
That doesn't line up with the agreement.
We took an hour on that, we should.
Yeah, isn't it like a
Okay.
Yeah.
buck 32?
I will.
My rate at MRB right now is 210.
Oh, okay.
I will second Donna's motion.
is there discussion?
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
My MRB rate right now is 210 per
210.
hour.
What do you want to pay her by the hour from February 1st till your next meeting, when she's on her own?
I think just.
Because
pay her
we're doing
flat
it
fee.
hourly, right? Right?
Yeah, for the next.
But what the average has been 2,500 a month?
The MRB contract is not to exceed 3,500 for 2026.
Okay.
Would you like to extend the MRB contract and?
Well,
Maybe
you're gone February 1st?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, we want you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're
$200.
due the asking rate right now that you're asking. We just need time to look over stuff.
The 200.
And it's our fault. We should have been more
Just do 200,
proactive.
just do like $200 or something from.
Well,
February
I
1st.
think just the flat fee for the
Oh.
month.
We just haven't completely finalized the approval of that flat fee. Okay, in your proposal. And then we want to have Rick look it over. And then get back to you
So do 2,500.
at the next meeting.
Yes, because we've, some of our board members didn't have a chance to thoroughly review the packet, and as a result, ill prepared to
No.
fully support your proposal in its.
How about that for an
complete
answer?
nature.
No.
So,
Everything.
the ask
Yeah.
is until the next meeting.
Is 2750 fair
So
or just a flat thing for the month?
So
you want to approve that proposal for the month of February as written?
No, because I think that there was an adjustment on the rate, right? Because I think yours is 3,000 a month, right? And there was a proposal for 2,750. Did I get that right? 2,750? Okay, so that's what the counter is going to ultimately be. Yeah,
I mean, you can make that motion and, but we're gonna have a conversation.
absolutely,
Right.
absolutely, yes. Right, right.
Okay.
Are we good with that one? Okay.
Discussion. Trace, this is your deal, so.
Well, we want to just do a flat amount for
For the month of
January,
February, which is at around,
well, for January.
But I,
or January.
with all due
Oh,
respect,
February.
with all due respect to Tracy, if we're
Yeah.
gonna do this, let's go back into executive. Figure out exactly what we're gonna do and then present it
All
to
right.
Tracy. This is unfair to her.
All right.
And frankly, I'm uneasy about doing 1 month. Like, I get that, you know, people need to review contracts and like, I would rather look at something that's more like with attorney approval. So everybody has time to review, Rick has time to review the terms and conditions rather than starting to break up a timeline.
Right.
That's, I guess, my input here is.
So,
Yeah, and we've done that in the past.
okay.
I don't know as though we had.
Are we gonna go back into executive session or are we gonna?
I'm moved to go back into executive session.
We have a motion on the floor.
Oh.
She's gotta also leave.
We
don't
should
we?
follow parliamentary
Okay,
procedure.
okay.
period. We have a motion on the floor and second.
Seconded.
It's the only,
We can go
The
into
only-
executive session
Call for-
with the motion.
the only thing I would like to make sure we discussed an hourly rate and then we discussed 27.50. I think the consensus was 27.50 for that month. Is that? We can't make decisions in executive session.
That was that was the last discussion we had, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that motion was made and seconded. You choose.
Well, I'd amend to the 27.
You can-
What?
I'd make an amendment to the 2750,
What was your amendment?
that we would pay for the
Sorry, I've gotta go hop on this
2750.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
I'll go downstairs and we can talk later.
I second that.
sorry.
Being recorded. Yeah.
You are still in open session.
Yes,
We're still in open session.
Yes,
Okay, the motion was made and seconded.
yes.
That we
Then there's a,
paid her for a month, it was 27.50, review the contract and approve the contract at the end of the month.
right. Well, so would we consider approving the contract and leaving it open for the attorney to
I don't-
review? You don't like it?
he's dictating to you guys. You guys.
All right.
discuss this after
We should do
executive
what
session.
we agreed to,
Yeah.
and what Donna made
Yeah,
the
that's-
motion.
She's got rights and.
Yeah, I think we should vote on that. If it gets turned down, we go to another plan.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed.
Carried.
I think that's fair and it's done.
It's done.
And
Carried.
we'll do the contract right for next.
Yep, but she has to agree.
Yes.
That's
Yeah, or she doesn't work.
Right.
Go out and
Right.
visit.
Exactly.
Comes down.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now what do we want to do?
I guess,
Do we have table mics?
we wanted. I'm not a spokesman for, it, but I think we thought the same thing with yours. We would like to have Rick review your contract
I'll make,
and approve that at the end of the month.
Yeah, I think we need to do
And
this on
he
both of them.
also you agree
It doesn't feel good.
with it.
John,
I make a motion to, approve Mike's contract as presented with the stipulation that it's reviewed by the attorney.
The price, the increase.
No, I just said as presented.
As presented.
We can have a
There's a second.
discussion.
Oh,
I'd move the table.
I'll second.
Which one, the table or my motion?
I was seconding his.
Oh.
I'm in favor of what they wanna do. I
Okay.
don't think we need to drag Mike on, let's just talk about the key points, he's here. Address them, I mean, he's been in
Well-
contract with us.
Right, uh, John approved the existing contract with no changes.
So there's change, so
If anybody wants to make an amendment, that's fine
Yeah,
too.
there's a motion and a second to approve as presented.
Yes.
And then there was a motion to table, but we're not sure Herb's second, if that was for.
Yeah, so I moved the table.
Table.
The motion.
Motion, I would second Andy's motion.
So now it comes down to whose motion was first.
No,
No,
the
no,
table,
but-
the table
vote
takes
on-
precedent.
Yeah, you vote on the.
Is there discussion on the table?
So I make a motion that's seconded, but then somebody tables and it
It-
gets
The,
rid
the
of it.
motion to table takes precedent over the motion.
Overcame the motion that was on the floor.
Is there discussion on table?
Until when, next meeting?
Yeah,
You're tabling until next meeting?
yes.
So my discussion,
No, moot, yeah.
if it's tabled, I don't know.
We
what the
vote
discussion
on the
is.
table.
Okay. Gina,
what are we voting on?
the
Yeah,
table.
Tabling it, not discussing it until our next.
Tabling
meeting.
John's motion to approve, you're tabling
John's,
John's motion, which is on the floor, but now the table motion is on the floor, Chairman, to table the motion. To approve.
Yeah, the table takes
consulting
precedent
service
over the
agreement
motion.
as written.
Yes.
Can I speak?
Sure.
Right.
So my contract was effectively up at the end of December. And we went through this process, the beginning of 2024. We had 4 special meetings, and you made a particular note of this at the time, Andy, of why do we keep having these special meetings? And it was because we couldn't take care of the contract that I had presented to the board.
Mhm.
So it went on for 2.5 months.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that again.
Mhm.
So if you would like to table this, that is your, option there. But I may also rescind my proposal altogether. Because I'm not waiting. I would
Mhm.
like to continue working with this board, and I'm certainly open to discussion on this, but an entire other month where I have no assurance that an outcome will be guaranteed from that, nor a quorum from that there, nor existing board members from that, per this own body of discussion from earlier
Mhm.
today.
Mhm. Yeah, we think there's a few changes. I mean, there's a big pay increase in there. We wanted to get something in about office hours. There's a couple other things.
So, Michael, like, I think we all think that you're doing an amazing job. I'm a big fan completely. I think the first thing is that you're proposing 140,000, so it's like a what, $10,000 increase.
Yeah,
So
Mr. Chairman, we do have a motion on the floor. So I call the motion.
I know, but aren't we in discussion as well on the table stuff? So like.
Yeah, but that's what calling the motion does.
You're calling the question, you're telling me.
Yeah, calling the question.
All in favor of the tabling? Roll call vote. Donna,
No, I'm voting.
John,
No.
Gina,
No,
Andy,
Yes.
Herb,
Yes.
no. The motion, John's motion's back on the floor.
Yes.
Mhm.
Is
Okay.
there any further discussion on the motion?
Well, like I had said, we had talked about a few changes. So I thought we were gonna make a motion reflecting those changes.
We can amend, we can do it now.
Present your items.
Yeah, these are. the
Well, we
talked
had
about.
talked to 130 office hours. No mileage to work. What else was there?
I think.
So,
That we agreed on.
no, I think that's,
Mhm.
I think those
That
are the
was it.
discussion points.
And the times in the office, I don't think it's a hourly thing. It's just that, because you've been working remotely, so the thought is we just want to make sure that you're in and out of the office that we're now paying rent for. So however that's worded in the contract, is free. I think the mileage thing, I think because you've been working remotely and the mileage thing, I mean, that was like you leaving your office at home,
Yeah,
right?
and
That's the difference,
I
yeah.
completely understood, and once we took control of the office beginning in October, my billing since then is starting point from that office.
Yeah, so then that's addressed.
So from what I presented to you, per my billing there, up until October is going from my home office. October forward is saying, even if I'm working from here, from my home office, billing starts from Auburn.
Right, that's
Because you
fine.
have control of office space, and I believe that's fair.
So I would move those amendments.
Mhm. Are you okay with those?
So, more standardized office hours,
Well, not so many hours. We even said, I think did you say hours? Somebody said, like,
Well, like,
An
we're a
average.
little sensitive,
Hours
like,
per
if
week.
you have to get your kids on and off the bus or something.
right, no, but I
You want to be a
understand
little
you're paying rent
flexible.
for the property.
Right.
You know, is it
I
being
know.
utilized, and we're
Right.
not just,
The money
keeping the
goes
lights
back.
on for,
Yeah.
of course, I'll be there.
we did.
We already have demand for, meetings coming up very soon, so to have that there, it's great. Certainly open to, the adjustment for the billing of mileage on that end. I don't know if that requires necessary contract amendment, but please be assured, moving forward, it's going to be starting from 188 Genesee Street. Were there any other items that I may have missed on that?
No, just those three.
Michael, I'm just curious, because I'm also contracted with different people. So are we paying you at the end of the month, or are we paying you in the beginning of the month? So for instance, if you're working December, are we paying you at the end of December after you've worked, or are we prepaying you?
So it's a carryover. So what you're paying right now, this month, is
Last
through
month.
the end of last year.
Yeah, okay, so we're doing it the right way, right?
We're doing the way you want it.
Well, I just think in general, it's the right way to do it, yeah.
is.
Okay, so yeah, so I mean, do you understand where we want to kind of just keep the salary flat right now? How do you feel about that?
What do you mean flat?
The 130 that it was, is that what you mean, flat?
Yeah, so
Or instead of-
right now, we're at 130 with you, right?
That's where it's been for the last 2 years.
2 years, okay. So what is it, everybody? That's the last piece we need. What did you base your increase on? 6%?
It's
Like, I'm doing my math.
yeah, so the flat math is
It's
10.
been 3.5% for 2 years.
Yeah, so it's about 7.7%. So what's going into that calculation is range of things, is as Ray just made allusion to there. It's based off of CPI increase, as well as what's coming out of my own pocket as a direct contractor rather than as an employed or W-2 to the IDA.
Michael, we will also, I'm in the Dow, regardless, change, your proposal in that it says part-time.
I thought we
Yeah,
adjusted
You
that.
agree that that's not, that.
I
No,
thought we
you're
changed
not.
that.
Yeah, no, you're not.
I'm sorry. No, we just want to
Yeah.
clear it up. We want to have our
I don't
attorney
want,
clear
I
it
don't
up.
want to do with the contract this month. but
Right.
we're gonna have
So,
to.
are we good?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we have to settle on
Maybe
salaries, so
it's
who wants to
split,
propose
then
a
we won't
different
have it.
number?
Maybe.
I told Mike a few days ago that I would support him. I give Doug at Soil and Water 3.5% this year, and I gave him a big raise last year. But that's me. As I said to Mike, this is a board decision.
I
I think I'm more familiar with Mike than probably any of them. Is that true?
Yes, because you work more closely.
And I've been to a lot of stuff with him, and
I agree.
what was a rude awakening was that windmill farm. I had no idea how much work goes in. So behind the scenes, was that 2-hour meeting we had with him? And I was pretty shocked about how much work that we had to do to get these pilots and all that stuff ready. But that's me. I'm one out of.
So
I
what
would
is,
support you as well in
so
that.
it's a 7.5% increase? Is that what we just said?
Thereabout.
Yeah, okay. I would also just throw this out to everyone. And
Sure.
I don't know what you're all gonna feel about it, but maybe we do a 2-year contract, so we're not back at the same table in 12 months. And if there's any increase or no increase, we address that in the contract as well for year 2.
I think Herb made a valid point.
We can't do it.
No, no. you don't.
There's some uncertainty about what's going to happen with economic
Yeah,
development
but
with the county.
cancellation.
That, and if I may, this was the last year I wanted to do a
Okay.
1-year contract, because I've had the same concern of going year over year with that. And I do agree that going into 2027, God willing, with a new model where you and
Yeah.
others are all part of the
Something different.
same group, and you're not doing this
Mhm.
because it is certainly a slog to get through this part of the process.
Mhm. So you don't want to do 2-year right now. You feel like by
I would love
27.
to lock in a 3-year contract with several other terms, but I think for the benefit of this board, given what is hopefully prepped going into 2027, there's a different model to get up with. So
The other
I
uncertainty is we don't know
wanna-
who the board members are
Yeah.
gonna be.
Michael, we discussed in the executive session, whatever was presented to the legislature as far as the future of economic development in the county. My concern is, I don't know how that's going to develop. I don't know whether that group is going to be a new CETA group.
Right.
I have no idea. If it is, who's gonna pay your salary, us or that group? There's a whole lot of, that's why
Already gonna have somebody else.
They could,
they could have Steve Lynch do it instead of you.
Or
they could.
They definitely.
Or
have
ABC.
to.
But
Yeah.
Well,
my
we're-
point was
we're
wasn't
wandering
to
off.
put you off at all, but I did the same thing with Tracy. I would personally like to have had a month to decide, to try to determine whether that's going any place or not. And if it's going someplace, we need to discuss everything all over
Well, it's a
again.
30-day cancellation.
There is, so here, and I completely
That's
completely
that's my concern.
completely agree. My feedback to the group here is don't expect anything this year to come out of the county.
I agree.
The intent and the recommendation, Tracy and I.
They
and
can't
others
decide
made
what time they go to lunch.
Was, let's use this year to
Remind
help
people we're still
them
live.
set something up for
Yeah.
2027, because nothing's gonna happen.
Well,
This year.
could we get back to the matter at hand?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I agree.
I got a 6 o'clock meeting tonight and I want to kind of get to it.
You want to go take a nap first?
How is your 2 o'clock meeting coming?
Great.
I just.
Okay.
3 o'clock.
Are we voting as is? Are we?
We're voting on whatever motion
Yes.
comes up.
Well, so I made a
With the
motion.
amendments, with Andy's
With- yeah.
amendments.
Right.
And Rick, you can get that tweaked and sent
Okay.
back to him.
I can't remember the motion. Could we start that? again?
Or the amendment.
Motion was to
This is
approve the proposal Mike submitted as is. There were 2 amendments
amendment.
that Andy threw out 2 amendments. Do we have a vote?
Three
No,
Three.
Three amendments.
Office hours, the 1:30 and
No mileage to it.
no mileage.
No mileage, correct.
So I'm still confused on what we approved, 130 or 140.
We haven't approved anything.
Okay.
So do we
You
have
voted
to,
on the amendment yet?
we have to vote on the amendments? We do
The
it as
amendment.
one? Mr. Marshall, do we vote on each amendment?
Yeah,
or
we have
all
to,
three?
we have to vote on each
I
amendment
think
separately.
the amendment included all 3 motions. There's no sense of voting for another hour and a half. His amendment included 3 things. We're voting on his amendment, which includes
The 1:30, the mileage and the office hours.
yes.
Correct, okay, so. No raise for him this year, is what I'm hearing.
I'd like to propose 135, give him something. He's done a great job.
Yeah, but we gotta follow the rules.
Alright, so what rules do we do?
You gotta vote on the amendments.
Well, she can make another amendment.
Oh, geez.
You have to vote on the
We have
first
to
one.
vote on the first
Right,
amendment.
but,
first.
yeah,
First
You and
amendment.
I did that with Steve.
First amendment,
Oh my God, now I can't think of our old age.
So we go an amendment by, let's do amendment by amendment.
Yes, amendment.
So call the question,
You,
Who called the vote?
you're the one with the amendments.
right?
He
So I
he
call-
calls the question
all-
on the vote.
All three proposals is one amendment.
Yes.
Gina,
But
your vote.
Voting for.
the amendment of 130.
Yes.
130, no mileage to and from
Done.
work and
No.
hours.
No,
Donna. Ray, no. Herb,
Yes.
Yes.
Andy.
Hey, Herb.
Amanda.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna amend 140.
Nope, you're not amending. The amendments have been voted down.
Yeah, okay, she's going to make a new amendment.
Now you're gonna make a new amendment.
What are you
35.
proposing?
135.
And the mileage and the
Yeah.
office hours.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Discussion.
I didn't hear what her amendment was.
It's at 135 would
We're
be
split-
additional
She's putting the baby.
office space as well as reducing mileage from his house. That's it, so we're just.
But he's already
adjusting the-
agreed to do that.
Yes,
You for that.
Opinion.
no, wait, first and second, okay.
No, I said discussion.
Oh.
He has an opinion.
Call the
He
question.
always has an opinion and I like that you're asking.
I'd like to hear it.
I like that about, yes.
We're talking about his life, so
Yeah,
he,
I agree with.
I call the question.
I agree with you, but I'm gonna have that much.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you asked Mike.
I had asked Mike.
Sorry, right.
That's why it takes so
I'm
long.
gonna overrule you. I wanna hear from Mike.
I
Is it-
agree with you, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's his life we're talking about.
So,
Then we gotta do Tracy.
I moved.
No, we
Tra-
already did.
Tracy's done, she
Yeah,
just got
she's
to
done.
agree to it.
No.
Wow.
she-
Well,
Phone
still
call,
here.
meeting.
She said, I didn't come to the revised figure lightly. That was after several months of taking a very hard look at economic conditions as well as comparatives for similar roles, similar communities, in addition to the body of work I've been able to bring to this board over the last couple of years. Help grow your balance sheet over 2 to 2.5 times. So as I was evaluating all of this and trying to be both fair to this board as well as to what I'm asking there is how I arrived at that figure. So no adjustment feels quite frankly insulting. And half of that is okay to move the needle, but not as far as I would like to see it. Is that fair?
It pulled very well.
but you'd accept it.
I
Consider.
cannot say that. Yeah, you asked for my opinion.
I did.
So that's my opinion on the matter.
Thank you.
Can I move the question now?
Sure.
Oh, I do that.
Okay. In reality, we should vote on the question, but that's,
Yeah.
Gina, vote.
What are we voting on?
And your
The
amendment.
salary,
On your amendment.
On your
your
amendment,
amendment.
Trying to focus here. We want to get home.
the one that you just presented.
Yeah. It's your
135, yes.
Yeah,
135 no mileage and hours, yeah.
It's not no mileage.
It's no.
It's not no
Mileage to and from work.
Right.
Right.
So I'm very, yes.
Work location.
Yeah.
I'm open.
When you go to Rochester.
Yes,
It's the,
Charges.
yeah,
right.
yes,
Anything except regular work.
yes.
Gina,
I just said yes.
You want to make sure you didn't change.
John,
No,
no,
How did Gina vote?
and let me,
Would
okay,
you-
you don't care why I said no.
Yeah.
Based upon what
Did
you
she
just
vote
shared
yes?
with us, is why I'm adjusting, otherwise I would have been supportive of that, but it's no.
I'm voting no.
Pardon?
Yes,
Your turn.
Yes.
Herb,
yes. 3-3.
it's
Yeah.
defeated.
It's defeated.
I'd make a
I
motion.
propose going back to
Okay.
140.
I second.
I,
No,
Well, the motion is, it goes back to John's motion as proposed. That is,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
that is the pending
Yeah.
motion now.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
right,
Both amendments have failed.
okay. So back to John,
Let's recite his motion.
Prove it as is.
approve it as is,
As
this is
presented.
approved, and I
Well,
second.
no, with the amendments.
yes,
Men,
Yes.
2 amendments,
No,
not
no,
all
well, you
amendments.
gotta make
You
those
have to force
amendments.
you to get
the amendment of the hours at the office
Yep.
and, no
Mileage.
mileage to and from the office.
Right,
Right.
Gina.
Second, I second.
And
Yes,
what
I
about
know you
salary?
did.
Did you say the salary?
Right.
Gina,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Yes.
yes,
No,
Herb,
No,
Herb,
no. It's
Carrie.
bad.
For two carries.
Can we get Tracy come in now?
that's democracy.
I
Yes.
also would like to just say, like, guys,
oh, it's a good process.
it was a horrible process. I don't think we handled this well at all. I'm sorry.
You
Like,
should
we
negotiate
handled this
contracts with
employee.
me.
Can I have Tracy?
Yeah.
Well, you did it in an executive session, don't blame the board, I mean.
This is open session.
You reopened it. This is
Yeah.
open
Yeah,
session.
well,
This is-
everything's being recorded.
Like, I'm being upfront, like, I don't think.
She's on a phone call.
Yeah,
She's on a
she's
phone.
a
I,
meeting.
I'd move to adjourn.
Yeah.
Can we
No.
do that?
She's
But
on a phone call.
And we-
But she better get in here.
Does she?
Are you guys already leaving? Did you?
I'd move to adjourn.
Did he move to adjourn?
Yes.
No, we gotta do Tracy.
I would,
You did it
I would
already.
think.
Excuse
You
me?
did it already.
Already.
Yes, we are.
Did it.
There's been no
Yes.
formal,
Call the vote, the motion. to adjourn.
is there a motion to adjourn?
I
Wait,
made.
what are you
the
gonna do
made
with
it.
Tracy?
What did we do? Are we done with
We've
Tracy?
already did
You
it
already did it.
Yeah,
and approved it.
What did we do with her? I thought she would make
did
the
we,
case.
did we do that?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we did.
You were taking recording, did we vote?
I think I would have to double check on that.
Yeah, it was-
I don't think we voted, did we?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, you
okay.
gotta pay her through MRB through the end of the month, and then the month of
She
February
didn't,
at
she
27.
didn't look like she was crazy about it.
Yeah, but she had to run to
All right,
court.
but she did, all right, but
Oh, I
that's
thought-
what we
I
don't.
thought she
There's no
went out to
contract
do
being-
something.
She went
Right,
to,
right.
Oh,
she had a meeting at 2:30.
He wasn't pleased with it, but.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Yes, I do.
I'll second.
Yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Who's got the bottle of that? for-
Give me just one.
Hold on.
Give me just one.
Yes, hold
Hold up,
on.
guys.
If you haven't
And I
turned
gotta
in
find
your
my column.
valuation form or your fiduciary
Oh, okay.
form, you can't leave.
I gave you both.
I can't let you leave.
I gave you both.
Let me run this past your awful fast.
Yes, sir.
The farm that he's in, and I know who the executive is. I bought farm equipment from
Like,
him.
I think
I
we
know how
need
to
this,
get a hold of
we
him.
need to have
There's
this
8,
discussion.
Is this over in Senate?
Gonna
yes,
go on
there's
for-
8 errors
Talk about these 2 meetings.
to it. And at least for 20 years, but that can probably be broke with another
Is
5.
that Peter's place?
Yes.
But,
I think I need-
can I call you tomorrow about this? Cause I do wanna
I think
talk to
you
you
went
about
home.
that.
There's another 400-acre farm that is available just north of there.
Okay,
Who's is that?
Well, I don't know. but
Clay?
Freddie Robinson told me